Discourse X. August 1st, 1937. San Francisco, California. Beloved children of the light, you have been taught much. Tonight, will you come with me on a journey, so you may realize more than ordinarily, that which is a part of your world, yet unknown to you. I refer to your great inner light, or life, which is the activity of your reality, through your higher mental body. It is a part of you so real, so magnificent, that if you suddenly became aware of the perfection which you really are, your joy would be so boundless. I say to you who have the appearance of years, if you suddenly saw how beautiful, how youthful you really are, the appearance of age only having registered on the atomic structure of your body, how differently you would feel. This appearance of the outer structure is but an appearance. It is not your reality, and yet it seems so real to you. This is just the outer garment which you are wearing, upon which you have registered the discord, which has the appearance of limitation and age. Now, we are rapidly dissolving all of that, and you will stand forth free, wholly free from your own creations. It was my joy to render a certain service in which 1/3 of your own human creation, or that of all the I am students in America, was dissolved and consumed for you. The love within this class has made it possible for further assistance of this kind to be given. I may not say just how much, but just rejoice in it. Before we continue, the service which I began yesterday, I wish you to know is a most remarkable thing. This service being rendered you, has not been tried within the children of earth, for more than 200,000 years. I tried it at first, only as an experiment, as to what could be done with a general group of the students. I find it can be done for all, which is an accomplishment that brings very great rejoicing to me. As the beloved messenger just read to you, when the children were before me in the Cave of Light in India, this same service was rendered. Oh, feel instead of having to go to far-off India at great expense and use of time, I have come here to you. It is the first time in the history of the earth, a cosmic being has really come in person, to render the children of earth such a service. Now, we can more definitely plan our activity for the outward progress and the expansion of your light. We can determine more definitely just what you will do. Does it sound unusual, as though we had not confidence in you? Not at all, because you have not known just what your human selves would do, and it is why we could not depend on you. I feel so certain ere long, I shall know just what I can depend on, and that is a very great deal, to enable us to go forward in the progress of the protection of your beloved America. As you sit here before me, it is quite as though you were sitting in Shananda's audience chamber, adjoining the Cave of Light. Tonight, as the beloved messenger asked you, will you feel you are actually sitting there in his audience chamber before me, as was described to you? While just yet, I may not stand visible before you, as I did with those children, yet I am as tangibly here. Therefore, in the service which I am rendering tonight, will you be kind enough to accept it in the fullness of its power, although you do not understand it? It is not necessary, but just have the kindly loving feeling of acceptance of all I am doing for you. That is all I require to do the work. While this is going on, I want to take you on a little journey into the realms of discovery, and tell you why the need for the protection of your America is so great. The destructive forces which have not yet been wholly brought into subjection, in the last lashing of the dragon's tail, it has brought forth some of the most destructive agencies. During your recent World War, there were many discoveries brought forth which were so tragic, so drastic in their nature even then, but since then, still more destructive things have been brought into the outer use. Yet, guardedly, we have watched they were not released. Tonight, I have made you a part of the great protection, far more so than you know, and far more than I may explain to you tonight, except to simply call your attention to it. I mean, not only you who are here, but all of the earnest, I am, students throughout America. I want to say at this point, I am so sorry for those blessed ones who through foolish human suggestion, have turned aside from this pathway of light. I am sorry indeed, for we wanted them to enter this great stream of light and perfection. Too late, they will see their mistake. We must move forward. We cannot wait for anyone or human idiosyncrasies. We would so love to have all who have once entered this stream of light, move forward with us, but such is their choice. I shall say something and please don't let it seem startling to you. as in the training of Bob, Rex, Nada, and Pearl and those who were there. So today, we are taking advantage of opportunities. I find through this activity which I have started, many of you in your higher mental bodies can do tremendous work that shall be utilized. First, through the assistance of your higher mental bodies, you will be taught how to draw from the physical octave the energy which is required. So your higher mental body may project those rays of light to render the service which is needed today, until we can bring other individuals to the point where we can teach them in the outer intellectual mind the use of these rays. We see all which is occurring in the destructive activities. We must counterbalance that by the use of the light rays. Now the law of the light is, we may not use a destructive force, but we can do other things. We can use the constructive powers to govern the forces of darkness or destructive qualities, and this we are preparing to do. Notice. But for your beloved Saint Germain having brought you, as students thus far, this would not have been possible. So you have him to thank with all your love and gratitude, and I am sure you do. As he brought Bob, Rex, Nada, Pearl and those with them to the point where that service could be rendered, so has he brought you today, in less than 3 years, to this point, where this service can be rendered in the outer world, of which you are a part, far more transcendent than I am just describing to you tonight. You have been taught to say to the forces of darkness and to the human creation which is limiting, you have no power. Beloved ones, send that forth with greater and greater earnestness and intensity. Say with a great calm majesty and power from your presence, to all human creation, you have no power. Be thou dissolved by the power of the light. Individually, please do not miss one day, and especially at night, saying to all human creation, in the name of my beloved mighty I Am Presence and the power of the Ascended Masters, I say to all human creation, you have no power. Mighty I Am Presence and great cosmic light. Project thy mighty light rays in and through the earth, establishing thy currents throughout the atmosphere of earth, and cause all destructive qualities and activities there to cease to exist. Then, we will do the rest. These simple calls which you are sending forth, make everything possible for us, and it is you who need the protection. It is your beloved humanity which needs protection. When I have noticed among the earnest students such a great desire to serve, O beloved ones, if you in the silence of your own chamber will make these calls, as I have just explained, how great will be your service which you are rendering. Will you who are visiting here, please carry this with you to the students in the various parts of America and the group leaders? You might think we are accumulating a great deal for you to do. It does not mean you must use all the things which are before you each day. Please understand this, beloved students, as you advance and we advance in the activity which is required, and we offer certain requirements for you to fulfill, do not let yourselves become confused by something which is added. All is a stepping up process, as you use the term in electrical parlance. It is the light advancing, going forward into greater achievement and freedom. Therefore, we may ask you to do many things in the future, but remember when you have entered the steps into the doorway of light, you do not pull the steps in with you. You leave the steps there, for the others who are to follow on. As you are advancing and more is naturally required of you, then rejoice in it. I say to the group leaders concerning this, dear hearts, don't let your human quibble over following directions. Joyously, happily and willingly just do what we request. You don't see and know, but we do, and we ask nothing in the world except what you can do. And that which we know is of the greatest service. You could not in your limited state know, but we can in our state. When we request something, it is for your good. Just as yet remember, beloved ones, you are the vanguard of the light. For a little time, your responsibility is greater, because through the power of your radiation your call is making possible the wider expansion of this I Am activity. Through the transcriptions and the radio work, which we are opening, you will find the open doorway to the expansion of the light and the reaching of people which is necessary. It is imperative that these books flood forth to mankind as much as possible, for they contain and hold the explanation and the application, by which every human being can set himself or herself free. It is imperative the people have them for constant use, because the intellect does not retain enough from just hearing the instruction. I ask all, please do not keep reaching out for more explanation. Take that which is before you and apply it with determination, with firmness. The explanation is all there. If you really understand it, don't let your intellect keep reaching out for various things, and guard your human self, so it does not run away and feel itself wiser than we. Dear ones, in the service which you are rendering, I say again to you, the present students of the I Am under Saint Germain's radiation, are the vanguard of the light, and each one must feel the courage of his or her own I Am presence, strong enough to carry this light. Until more of humanity can be brought into the clearness of this understanding. Then, they will share the responsibility with you, but today, the outer world does not understand how to call forth its protection. Therefore, the people are as helpless as infants. I am telling you tonight, unless individuals understand their own God presence, the mighty I Am, they can give but fragmentary assistance. They cannot give the sustained activity, because they must know their presence is above them, from which they can call its powers into action. Until individuals understand this, they are constantly wavering like the pendulum of a clock, and soon the presence is forgotten. No longer will people waver, but stand in the light and draw to themselves their own. Oh, that you understood those simple words. Those words are the majesty of creation. Stand in the light and draw to yourselves your own. Shall I put it just a little more definitely to you? From the octaves of the ascended masters there are being lowered into the atmosphere of Earth certain activities, which mean assistance in precipitation, which mean assistance in the use of the light rays, which mean assistance in the power of self-control of the individual. All this is assistance independent of your call. The world is once again being set free, although its mistakes have been great. The cosmic light says once again, mankind is to be set free from the sweat of its brow, for its livelihood, and as the light intensifies within the earth, will many of you come to understand the import of my words tonight. We have in the etheric belt, within certain parts of the earth, discoveries of which we have known for a long time, and to those in the retreats for more than 100 years, which will give your America its perfect freedom. The labor problem which has caused so much unhappiness and destruction, how quickly we could solve it. The people have been wanting shorter hours. We could show you how to produce all you require in 2 hours service a day. Then in the balance of that time, you could study for your own perfection. How many of you can tell me tonight, if you had or were required to render just 2 hours service a day, would you actually give the remainder of the 8 hours to study and make application for your freedom? I leave that to you. Now then, remember, you are entering a new kingdom, the kingdom of light, which is its own supply to the children of earth. This is not idle talk. We have no time for such things, but I am drawing your attention tonight to certain things for a very definite purpose, because it not only means your advancement, but it means the assistance which you require. You, in your great city tonight, are sitting within this sanctuary of light, as though the outer world did not exist, for these 2 hours while you are here. It is the rarest privilege and activity on earth, beloved ones. You are in this charged sacred chamber of light. Very much as if you were in the cave of light in India, only this building is not charged for centuries with the light where only perfection exists, as it is there. Yet, we are drawing and have drawn throughout the classes, these mighty light rays into the room, which are fulfilling a very similar purpose for you. That is why, as your attention is called from one point to another, the opening is there for us, to fill your world with whatever you desire. It is light and happiness. I say again tonight, do not allow one single feeling to live in you of criticism or condemnation of another, even though such a one might have made mistakes. Pour out our ascended Master divine love. Raise the loved one who has made mistakes into the arms of your presence and forget all else. You will know such happiness. Then, you will have done your part, to fulfill the law of light and love. So tonight, dear hearts, remember, to the degree you pour out the Ascended Master's divine love and blessings, will the door of your world open wide, into our eternal light which releases all perfection into your use, for your blessing and for the purifying and perfecting of your bodies. Can you actually believe my words, when I say to you, there are 375 people in this room, who could, if they would determine to do it and stand by it, make their ascension in this embodiment? That is true. I am endeavoring in many ways to hold your consciousness into our mighty reality, which takes from you all doubts, all fears, and the human sense of limitation. They do not belong there. They are not yours. It is all just an accretion, and when you call your presence into action to dissolve all of it, and replace it by the acceptance of all the glories there are, you too will feel more the import of why I am calling your attention to these things tonight. There are 50 people in this room who could say to any destructive force, stop. And it would be compelled to stop. Remember, the light of your presence which gives you life, can assert the activity of the sword of blue flame. With the number of individuals whom I have mentioned, it could be called into action through the power of divine love and used in divine love. Tonight, how my heart rejoices in your very kind attention, so much is done. Beloved ones, great is our rejoicing. Will you please enter into this rejoicing with us, in the achievement here? Remember, as in the activity with the children in India, so tonight, you are a part of my love and light. Feel it as deeply as you can. Let our light do its perfect work in, and through you, and out into your world. I earnestly ask you no longer to give power to appearances, which cannot have it, so far as your world is concerned, unless you feed your life stream into them by your attention. Remember, that is so important. Nothing of a destructive nature can touch you or your world, except through your attention, you feed your life into it. Try to feel this truth with great loving firmness. Then, remind yourselves no longer shall your attention be focused upon limiting, destructive or disturbing things, or your life be fed into them, to add to the world's unhappiness. If you have a feeling of unkindness within you to someone else, then you are by your attention, feeding your life stream possibly to harm the other, as well as limit yourself. Do you see, precious ones, how there is always a double activity in discord? If you feel unkindly to another, you are adding to the burden of that individual and limiting yourself. I am so grateful you understand this clearly now, and will keep yourselves reminded. When the temptation comes to have an unkind or discordant feeling, simply say, oh no, too long this has been, but no longer. I shall stand in loving kindness to all and in the light of my I am presence, so its great self-luminous intelligent substance may flood my world and produce everything I require. In the fullness of my love, I enfold you and that of the great host of ascended masters, the legion of light and the great cosmic beings, who are watching you so closely, trusting, hoping, you will assert your dominion of self-control, so the world may be flooded by your love. The radiance of the great presence and the host of light, to give the service needed to set all mankind free. Remember, we are never separated. When you have called to your I am presence, call to beloved Saint Germain, myself, any one of the ascended masters, Sanat Kumara or the cosmic beings. Then assistance will come, but try earnestly to receive from your presence at your call, all you require, because in it, you gain the victory. We love to assist, but you must first try every means within your power, to call your own I am presence into action. Then, if you cannot quite accomplish it, we shall supply the courage, strength and assistance necessary, but do not longer feel, you cannot gain the victory over anything. We have now given you the assistance. Try earnestly every way you know, and then, if you need assistance, it shall come forth to you. Please remember that. You know your presence and ours are not limited in any manner whatsoever. Just feel this which fills you with our joy and courage of the infinite power of light. Feel it ever expanding within you, unto the glory of your victory, then your ascension, free forever in the octave of light with us. One day, we shall have many happy visits over the experiences of today. I thank you.